Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Matt Bajerski, wherever I am in the world, wherever this is put out. Should have brought a drink with me. Just, excuse me. No, it's fine. I should be fine. Okay, hi. I just thought, why don't we do I do so many videos on crystals, and I think it's nice to do a video on something that I'm fairly familiar with, because it's it's kind of like the time that I was doing these one-to-one sessions with clients, it was predominantly clear that this is, I can't say it's a huge topic, but it kind of enters into the top 10 of why people came for a spiritual session or a healing session. So I should go and get some water. Just give me a second. Thank you. I've just freshly pressed some organic carrots, ginger, oof, a lot of ginger, and some black and some black grapes, dark grapes, and some light grapes. Wow. I don't know why my throat's a bit like, maybe because of all the tea I've been drinking. The mucus is coming out, which is to me a good sign. I'm clearing all that needs to come out. How's the teas going with you anyway? Sorry, I don't know if I can do this video or not. One, two. Wow, I don't think I can do this video. Weird. Very strange. Anyway, I can't even talk. I don't know why. I've absolutely no idea why. These things happen sometimes. Maybe it's because it's the subject matter. Maybe it's the subject matter. Well, let's give it a go. If I sound strange, it's because something's trying to stop me from speaking. Weird. But I am drinking a lot of the tea, so it's parasite cleanse. Wow. Talk about a detoxifier, like a proper detox. Okay, come on, Matt. Wow. Sorry, guys. This is bang out of order. I don't stop videos though, so you're going to see me how I am. Okay, this subject is about the moment when, and I'm going to stick to feminine at the moment, but masculine will, no, I'm going to stick with feminine because this is about the feminine. This is about you mums out there. There is patterns out there of something that we have struggled to understand, to digest, to accept. Probably acceptance is the biggest word. When your baby is born and you love that baby with all your heart, You nurture every day your love, your empathy, your kindness, your protection, everything. You give that baby, and as that baby grows up, you watch this beautiful child unfold into this gorgeous, beautiful everything to you, your life. And then your child gets to teenage, and along that way you may have had a breakup, which often happens, called life. So the breakup happens and you are now a single mother, or you may have met somebody else, but predominantly all of a sudden you kind of lose your child. They all of a sudden, you feel they've turned their back on you. You feel like you're a bad mother, or somebody's influencing your child, or something that now you are at that moment in your life where, let's say it's one of the toughest challenges in the world, and it's not about cutting cords from you or your child, it's something else. And I think I'd like to go into depth, if it's okay with you. So the window's open. I'm going to turn this off because it could be the heater that's drying my throat. I'd like it to be as quiet and peaceful as possible. So let's discuss some of this, and let's see if we can come to some kind of understanding. I think that's the most important thing. Let's understand it. Acceptance is very important, but we need to understand it. First of all, I want to say to you, if you're going through that experience right now and you haven't seen your beautiful child, whether it's a boy or a girl, or whether they decided to be a different sex, change their own sex, whatever they're going through, I think one of the things that I notice predominantly is the suffering of the mother. And pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And we have to come to the point where enough is enough with the suffering. How did we break free from that suffering? Well, the first thing you need to know, and this is the truth, you've done nothing wrong at all. Nothing. You see, sometimes within a relationship between a mother and child, there is something in that child when they get to a certain age where, because you are so close, your child is going to struggle to break free from that because of the inherent nature of humanity, which is to break free and to go and do something. They need to express themselves. They need to be who they are, because if you understand this, you've always been their greatest influence in life. And now they're hearing different things from different people, and all of a sudden that understanding of what you've given them, that love, that truth, now comes to a point in their life where they're questioning everything, but not just you, everything. Part of imagine you put yourself in their shoes. They've always come to you for advice. They've always been there to hear what you've got to say. They've always been protected, but deep in them, they're like the wolf, or they're like an animal that needs to go out now and survive, do what they need to do, find themselves, because they've always relied and been dependent on you. So part of them is there's a pull between you and them, and they know, deeply they know, that what they're doing is in their heart wrong, but they're still being pulled because there is an animal instinct in them to break free. So they're in a huge battle. So a lot of the times, the easiest things with children, teenagers coming into their own power, is to just cut off everything and get away. To do that, they know that they can't do it if they just wanted to, because, well, in their minds, you wouldn't let them. And in truth, You might be the source of that. Even though you don't say anything, they'll feel it. They watch you and see and think, well, if I break free and want to do what I want to do, mum's not going to like it because I already know what mum wants me to be or do or how I should act. So therefore, frustration comes into their life. And that's when this battle starts. And what happens is, what I noticed with children like that, who used to sit in front of me because I needed to know what was going on, there is a huge battle inside them taking place. And it starts with just a little tiny flame and it starts to grow. That flame grows because of, again, one thing that I've just said, that they need to break free. They need to find out who they are, but they can't do that if you're always there in the shadow. If you're always there, they don't feel like they, look, just leave me alone, mum. I'm going to go for a swim. Let me go and swim. Because if you're always there telling me what I shouldn't be, it's please, mum, just let me swim. And you might argue the fact that you do let them swim and you do let them do what they want, but there's still that connection, that cord, that feeling, that protection of mum. And that's really, really challenging to get rid of. And when you find that you're at the stage where you can't do anything and you can't be, God forbid I say this and you're going to attack me now, that you can't be in control of your child because that feeling is, hey, did you just say control? I don't control my child. I know you don't. But to your child, it feels like that. So now you're going to look at me and say, well, come on, Mark, what the hell does that mean? You want me to not stop loving and caring for them? And that's where the problem lies. There's this grey area of understanding. And I don't have the answer to it, but I have seen outcomes. I have seen how mothers react. And I can definitely give you many scenarios of what happened. And that's what I'm going to do today. So then you'll make your own mind up at this and think, okay, I'm not going to do that, or I might try that, or I won't try this. There are many reasons why you believe your child has gone and maybe gone back to their father and not spoken to you. And there's loads of reasons. All I can tell you is none of them reasons have anything to do with their father. None of them reasons to do with you or the child. It just is a certain thing that the child does, right? There is no rhyme and reason to it. And that's why you're going to be banging your head against a brick wall when you try and understand why they do what they do and why you don't understand it. So it is a waste of energy to try and understand the situation, okay? It's a waste of energy. It's all about acceptance here. This is the key point, and this is the hardest thing, because you always come back to me and say, Mark, I can't. I'm his mother, or I'm her mother. I have to be this way. And I put back to you and say, that's a beautiful thing, but just turn it the other way around. Look at yourself and look at the energy that you're producing now and what you're saying to me. Imagine if your mum was you and you were sat here and you're the child listening and feeling that. Especially if the child wants to be, just to be. Just let me be, let me find me, let me now go out into the world. You've done a great job, but I just feel that I can't break free because, you won't let me. The child doesn't mean that. The child means that because you're so loving and so kind, that protection is so powerful that it's hard for that child to see this invisible energy around them, which is protecting them wherever they go, whether you're miles away. It's always there. They always feel that protection. That protection then can come to be, actually, for them, a sign of their weakness. It's true. I mean, if you say to your child, oh, I'm not so sure about that, what you're saying is, I don't trust you. Maybe not to you, but to them. And where are you? Where are you going? Okay, you don't trust them. You don't trust them. No, I know you do trust them. You're just a good mother. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you've got to understand that your actions have great consequences at a point of a child's life when they're trying to break free and be the amazing soul that you created and that they're going to be. I've seen devastation take place when a mother will not accept that, and they simply just say to me, I don't care. I'm being a good mother and this is what I should do. And what I saw from that was heartbreaking, because their love as a mother and this kind of set feeling inside, this inherent, this natural gift to protect all the time, it's beautiful. And your child needs that when your child's in deep pain and suffering. Hey, something in that. Something in that. Can you switch it on and off? If you could, you'll have cracked it. So, but when your child wants to find themselves, that energy that you send to them, they feel all the time. It feels like that. It does. It does. It feels like that, even though you don't want that. Oh my God, beautiful. That's so nice. There's a most beautiful bird just sat on my windowsill. So, oh, she's gorgeous. She's got an orange tail. She's beautiful. Okay, thank you. I don't know where I am. Oh, what a beautiful sign. That's personal. Okay, so you, beautiful mum. First of all, I want to say that you're doing nothing wrong. Nothing. But when we understand what's going on with our children, here's the thing. Could I ask you today to try something for me? Could I ask you to, beyond anything, trust your child no matter what? Because what that means is if you decide to use that energy of thought, of trust, so as soon as you think about your child, you trust them no matter what they're doing. Instead of worry, or what are they doing, or who's influencing them. Get rid of that. I trust my child with all my heart. Now ask yourself this. I would say to you, if you don't do that, then there's something in that. Didn't you do a good job? Did you bring them up in the way that you know that was the right way? Did you share information with them that would make them know what to do from right and wrong? Now, do you trust your child to be good and kind and caring? Do you believe in your child to do the right thing? If the answer is yes, then you've done your job. The job's done. Now you've got to trust in that. Because if you don't, then really, did you really teach them the right thing? Because if you taught them the right thing, then you've got nothing to worry about. So if you're worrying about them, then I ask you, why are you worrying? Didn't you show them how you behave, your actions, everything that you did and say? Because in there might be something in that. Because if you don't trust them, then I would ask you why. Maybe there's something that you're not happy with how you behaved in front of your child. I would argue the fact that you did a great job. I'm just giving you thoughts and feelings at the moment. I met a stubborn woman who was a top medium in the world. And to say she was very gifted, she was, but she was damn right stupid. Because her arrogance, her ego, her I know best, and my child should listen to me, earned her the energy of not speaking to her child for 20 years. Plus. Well, that didn't work, did it, love? No, it didn't. So get your ego, get your I'm right, and throw it out of the window, because that caused you suffering for 20 years. And I don't want you to suffer for one day. So here's what I saw within children. Children, when they get to a certain age, they open up spiritually. And it's their teenage years. And in that time, they are open to learning from other people. That's why you can tell them something 50 times, 100 times, 1,000,000 times, and then one day they'll meet somebody who they've never met before, and all of a sudden they'll go, oh my God, Mum, guess what? And you'll be saying, hang on a minute, I've been telling you that every day. Because there is something in the child that opens up to new energy. It's called new energy. So they've been used to your energy and the protection around them, but now they're starting to learn, and you've got to give them that space. Now, if you don't give them that space and you start manipulating them without knowing, because we do manipulate people to what we want to make us feel happy and comfortable, and it is a manipulation, even though sometimes we don't know we're doing it, it is, and they can feel it. And that's another reason why they can rebel, because they can feel that, you know, Mum, you should have just let me be. Mum, I don't want to speak to you no more. Mum, I can't cope with this anymore. So you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, are you doing this for the benefit of you? Are you getting sad and upset and angry because things aren't working out just how you want? Because you want your child to be there whenever you want them to be there? Is there something in that? Because you can't hide that from your child, even though you're saying words. It makes no difference. You can say what you want. The child feels energy, and they understand energy inside. They're still children, they still feel it. You can tell them one thing and they know it's completely rubbish, and they can feel it. So that's something you need to be honest with yourself. I'm getting lots of fingers pointed at me now, I can feel it. I'm sorry guys, but it's the truth. It really is. You've got to look at yourself, and you've got to look at the way you act and the way you are. And sometimes it's horrible for people to tell you this, but you know, there are times that, you know, the only way you can see it is if you just switch shoes and start listening to you as the child, listening to what you're saying on the phone. Look, we are in this world to experience things. We chose our mum and our dad just like you did. Don't ever tell me that you didn't feel at times that you just needed to get out of that house because you needed to get away from your mum and dad. You needed that space. You needed that time for yourself. You needed that moment to learn. The Buddha left his family to go and be on his own. Many people, Jesus left his home and went, and all of these people who ended up learning so much and they did it not because they were with the mum and dad all day. You know, I came into this world for my mum and dad to show me what I need to learn. Okay, so thanks very much. Now I'm on my way, and now I'm gonna grow up and have children and show my children what I need to do, and they're gonna go away and they're gonna do the same thing. And I can tell you this, in my family I have the same issue. So it's a huge issue, but it isn't, because we don't see it in the way that we want to see it. If we saw it in the way like it should be seen, then it's part of life. This is what happens, and you've got to smile and laugh. It isn't about the ex-husband. It isn't about the situation. It's just part of life. So 1, stop beating yourself up today. 2, stop wanting and needing. 3, begin a new relationship with yourself. 4, start to trust that what's happening is exactly how it's meant to be. 5, learn how to accept and let go. 6, become love. Become kind. Become empathic. Become acceptance. Always comes back to me. Accept, 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 but with happiness. There's a big thing in that. Accept with happiness. Okay, I accept. This is beautiful. And trust. Let your child grow. Let them fall. Let them go through these things and say, you know what, Mum? Gosh, you were right. Dad's a pain in the ass. Or whatever. But then isn't that selfish? Because now, oh yeah, I told you what your dad was like. No, 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 no. Your dad was there. He brought you into this world. Look at you. He might not be there. He might not have been there, but he brought you into this world through his seed, and we love and respect him for that. He might be a scallywag, or he might be a silly man. He might do wrong things, but you know what? He's still your dad, and have respect and love him for who he is, for flaws and all. That's what you should be saying. I don't care what he's done to you. That's part of your journey. And if you're holding on to that till this day, then you'll never move on. You'll never have a relationship. You'll never be with anybody, because you still hold on to the pain and suffering of what you've been through and what he did to you. And then that pain and suffering goes into you and then goes to your child. And then your child then thinks, okay, she hates my dad. And now I need to go to my dad. It's like, oh my God, look at what you do to create this. So in my eyes, I say forgive, let go, move on. Forgiveness, let go. You know what? Thank you very much for bringing our child into this world. Thank you. You know what? He's your dad. You'll have to learn yourself, darling. You want to be with him? That's go for it. I'm here. Just be aware of what you're doing, what's going on. And I'm always here, and I love you. And I hope that the relationship between your dad is going to be amazing, and you're going to learn a lot. If the man's a scallywag, he's a scallywag. Your child will know that within the first day. You don't need to worry. But then I worry about you, because if you're being the way you are, maybe your child's running away because of the way you are. So we need to change the way we are. Now, I'm not saying that the way I did was the right way. My daughter, China, I ended up saying, hey, darling, I'm here. You want to do whatever you want. She might say, my dad never even give a shit about me. That's what she might say, and, kind of frightens me if she does, but maybe I wasn't. As a father, as she was growing up, I was there every day for her. She'll tell you that. But when she got to 18, I wasn't there. And it was now time for her to fly and to do, and I trusted in her. I thought, you know what, I've given her everything I've got. I've shown her love. I cuddled her every day, told her I love her. I gave her I was just who I was. So I gave her who I was. This is the best I can do. I'm not saying it was the right thing, but it was the best I could do as I was growing up with my daughter. So I trust that, and I let her go. And I've always said, I'm always here for you, darling. And sometimes she'll get upset, and I can feel that, she needed more love, and which I wasn't able to give because I was too busy doing my own silly thing in my own world, trying to help everybody as I do. Oh, I didn't give my daughter, but I still gave her the freedom, and I trusted her. And no matter what she's been through, what suffering we all go through, I trust her that she has the tools and the strength and the power to overcome everything. And I believe it with my whole heart. If she decides to go and meet another father figure, I'd be really proud. I'd be really happy. Why? Because she's learning from different people, and she'll know what's right and what isn't. And she'll be influenced the way she's going to be influenced, because you're not going to stop that. You can't influence your child by telling them what to do and who to see and who not to see. So for me, I'm not telling you, because what's done is done. But what I'm trying to say is that the way I saw relationships coming back and bonding, you see, that in itself is wrong, really, that I said that, because that's like me saying you're still looking for the outcome that you want, and that's wrong. What I did see, though, is when people accepted and sent their love and sent them a message saying, I love you, baby, you don't have to keep saying I miss you, because they say, I hope everything's going well, I hope you're having a great day. What are you doing? Where are you going? What's happening now? Just let them come to you. I'm a healer, and I used to teach people the most important aspect and the foundation of healing. Don't force your gift on anybody. Don't force healing on anybody. If they want it, they'll come. And I think that is a really beautiful way to see life. If people need you, they'll come, and then you give them. But when you try and force stuff onto your children, it's like force feeding your baby. They'll spew it back up on you. So there's no point. So I sort of say, listen, guys, look after my beautiful daughter. If she needs me out, she knows I'm here. But it's not easy being a mum. It's not easy being a parent. Nobody said it was. Nobody gives you a manual, a spiritual manual about how to be with a child, because each child is different. And the way you react is the way you react. So, trial and error. So you just do your best. What I hopefully have given you today is some food for thought, just to sit down and think about it. And the most important thing in the world is for your child to look at you without looking at you, where they're sat there thinking, I can tell my mum anything. I can go to my mum for anything. I don't need to. And I think the way they want that is in their own selfish. It is a little bit selfish, but it's true. At this point in their life, they're going through that stage of life where they're starting to learn things. So this is the beginning of their true life. This is when they really start to learn and understand things, and they'll make a lot of mistakes. So you've got to allow them to do that, because that will shape their life. And I trust my daughter, and you should trust yours and your son, if it's your son. Trust them, because they're going to grow to be who they're meant to grow to be. No influence from you will make any difference to this at all. Not in my opinion. Not now. If they've gone, you've done your bit. And if they've gone, it's because they needed to fly, not because they hate you or you did anything wrong. Not at all. Not at all. I love my next door neighbour who looks right through my window here, but if she sees me, then she'll start talking. So I had to just move away for a moment. She's lovely, but I just needed to fully focus on you. Yeah. I really don't have the answer to this, because there isn't an actual answer, because I think that the essence of this conversation, if I really attune to it, is that this is part of life and all children go through it. They need to find themselves. They need to go and pick their own apples. They need to get into trouble. They need to experience life in all shape and form. And I think you have to accept that's what they need to do. You need to trust them. And you just need to be there for them when they need a helping hand. And I think that's the bottom line. And I just want to repeat myself one more time. You've been an amazing mother. You are an amazing mother. You did amazing work. So now, trust that. Trust it. When you talk to them, don't ask them too much. Let them imagine it's a healing session and you're a healer, you're a psychologist. Just let them talk. Make it easy for them to feel it's easy to talk to you. Make it easy for them to feel that they can walk through your door without being censored, without being judged, without being protected. Look at them and say, you can do this. I trust you. Whatever you're doing, I'm here. Go for it. Enjoy it. Learn. That is my wisdom, what little I have. But I share this with you now. Don't wallow in self-pity and that you've done anything wrong. You haven't. It's the course of life. And in whatever way you, your children, are breaking free to experience life, I think we've all done it one way or another. They call it rebellion. We rebel. They're not rebelling. They're just crying out to find out who they are. They're trying to experience life, to see, feel, to understand, to learn, to experience. Respect that. Give them that space. Let them be. Let them grow. Love you all. Have a great day, guys. You're an amazing mother. You really are.